What up, fam? It's your boy Aaron coming to you once again from First and Faithful. Want to go over the 53-man roster update as was reported today. Go over some of the surprise additions, subtractions, etc. Before we get into that, if you like what you're hearing, you love what you're seeing, do me a huge favor. Click the like button, the subscribe button, that little bell icon helps me out a ton. I really appreciate it. New videos every week as we get that much closer to the start of the NFL season. But let's get into this 53-man roster, and you will notice that the theme of this roster is continuity and familiarity. Those are the two big things to keep in mind with this roster. Starting with the quarterbacks, no big surprises. Jimmy G, of course, Mullins, Beathard. Josh Rosen was released by the Dolphins. The 2018 top 10 draft pick of the Cardinals, who was dropped by the Cardinals, traded to the Dolphins last season when the Cardinals drafted Murray, and then goes to the Dolphins, doesn't work out there, is released. There was some talk that maybe the Niners should make a play at him. I don't think this is the season for that, just because of COVID, and you may have to rely on that number 3 quarterback at some point. All it takes is a small outbreak, and CJ Beathard may be your starting quarterback for a week or two. And as complicated as Shanahan's offense is, throwing someone like Rosen in there in a season where you are trying to win the Super Bowl, legitimate, we are going for 6. I just don't think you can throw Rosen into that. Next season, sure. This season, not a good play. Going to the running backs, they kept 5. Raheem Mostert, Tevin Coleman, Jerick McKinnon, super excited that he is going to, in theory, be playing week 1. Jeff Wilson Jr. and Kyle Juszczyk. The surprise on that one is definitely, not the surprise, but maybe the upset was maybe Jeff Wilson Jr. JaMycal Hasty, the undrafted rookie, was balling out in camp. There was talk that, maybe he would get the roster spot over Jeff Wilson Jr., but like I said before, familiarity, continuity, you give the nod to Jeff Wilson Jr., who is kind of their bigger back, short yardage, has great hands, does a lot of those things, and unfortunately not having the preseason, hurt, Hasty, not being able to see that against competition, where that may have been the difference maker. Getting into the wide receivers, they kept 6. Debo, Brandon Ayuk, Kendrick Bourne, Trent Taylor, Dante Pettis, Richie James Jr. Side note, Richie James Jr. and Debo. Richie James has already been activated from the NFI list. Debo is supposed to be activated here shortly. So looks like week 1 could have all 6 on there. Juwan Jennings, kind of a surprise waive or release. Unfortunately, reports are he wasn't doing that great in camp. And honestly, the one thing that Jennings does so well, yards after catch, yards after contact, really great in college, breaking tackles, getting extra yards, and in an off season or preseason where there are no preseason games, and the Niners didn't do any live tackling, he never got to show off those skills. That one skill that really maybe separated him from everybody else, never got to demonstrate those. So definitely, no surprise there. Probably end up, or they'll try to put him on the practice squad. We'll see what happens. Another team may come and scoop him up. So we'll kind of see what happens with that. Tight ends kept forward. No real surprise there. Kittle, Jordan Reed, Ross Dwelly, Charlie Warner, the rookie. Really excited about this group. Kittle is obviously Kittle. Jordan Reed has looked so good in camp. Fingers crossed, health is there. This could be a really good tight end group. Obviously, Ross Dwelly, very good. And Charlie Warner, really good blocking tight end and decent hands. So really excited about this group. Offensive linemen, no surprises there. Trent Williams, Tomlinson, Garland, Brunskill, McGlinchey, School, McKivitz, and Tom Compton. Compton took a pay cut to stay with the team. There is still some questions about who's going to start at center and right guard. We'll see. Shanahan's, I assume, is going to keep that very close to the vest, not give any advantage to the Cardinals heading into week 1. Defensive linemen, this is without a doubt, the best group on the team. Bosa, Kinlaw, DJ Jones, Armstead, D Ford, Solomon Thomas, Kerry Hyder, Katavius Street, Kevin Givens. That is such a deep group by far. Maybe as far as a position group goes in the entire NFL, I don't know if you're going to find a better top to bottom position group in the entire league. Good to see Kerry Hyder make it. When he is healthy, he can definitely provide some good edge depth. Katavius Street, great to see him healthy. We know what he can do when he's on the field. Same with DJ Jones. All 9 of them, just really excited to see them out on that field. Linebackers, Warner, Quan, Dre, Al-Sha'ir, Mark Nezoka, I don't know how to say his last name, and Flanagan Fowles. Warner is still in COVID procedure. Hopefully they get him back in time for week 1. Safeties, Ward, Tart, Moore, Marcel Harris. That was kind of the surprise, was Cyprian have been playing really well. Again, familiarity, continuity. Unfortunately, he's just kind of the odd man out on that one. Cornerbacks, Sherman, Mosley, K'Wan Williams, Witherspoon, and Jason Verrett. Not a lot of surprises there. We'll see who ends up starting outside Sherman. They haven't officially named Mosley. He should be the number 2, but Verrett has been having a really good training camp, so we'll see what happens there. I assume it'll be Mosley, but if Verrett's anywhere close to what he was before, I would like to see him get a crack at that. And the specialists, obviously, same as last season. Robbie Gould, Mitch Wisnowski, and Kyle Nelson as your long snapper. Like I said, not a whole lot of surprises. The theme was continuity and familiarity, which sucked for the rookies. Unfortunately, they just didn't have the usual opportunities that rookies have going into, a season where you have preseason live tackling. You're able to kind of make your mark, and that preseason can be that time where you can, be the difference maker between you and somebody else. For JaMycal Hasty over, Jeff Wilson. If Hasty had come out and balled out, maybe they get rid of Wilson and keep Hasty, but because of, just the weirdness that is COVID and how it's affected the offseason, the preseason, familiarity and continuity is just really, really important, I think, from the, Niners perspective. But that's the 53-man roster. Like I said, not a whole lot of surprises. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Drop one below. Let me know if this is about what you thought the roster was going to look like. But as always, thanks for watching. This has been First and Faithful. I'm Aaron. Have a great weekend. Hey, thanks for watching First and Faithful. Here's another video I think you'll enjoy. Also, don't forget to subscribe. New videos every week. Appreciate all the support.